The two topics for today are segment intending and manifestation.
Ah,
So they're both kind of related. So the segment intending, here's what that's all about. It's something that we took from Abraham Hicks, and I don't do it perfectly, but I try because it's really worthwhile. And it is to recognize when you're moving into a new phase of something, uh, that it's an opportunity to set your intention for that and what you want the outcome to be. So, like if you're well, coming to this video meeting discussion, so that's something new and different than you were doing whatever it was before this. So this is a new segment of your day,
okay.
and and it's an opportunity to halt and say, "Oh, this is a new segment. What do I want to happen in this segment? What's my intention to for an outcome?" And it's a way to focus because there's a saying that where your intention and attention go, that's where the energy flows. So that's what the segment intending is about. It's about focusing your attention and setting an intention for the next period.
Okay.
And I find that helps when I do it. I try to remember to do it, but I don't always. In fact, I don't very often do it, but I'm still working on trying to do it more.
Mm-hmm.
And usually there's better results. Like when right now I'm working on some planning for this Spain trip. And when I don't have a specific intention and focus for this next little segment, notice that I, read mail and get interested in something else and do that instead of what I set out to do. But if I have an intention, it helps me focus on it better. That's what segment intending is all about. It's why? Because it helps. It helps focus attention and intention.
I think it helps a lot when you are going into maybe a kind of uncertain situation where you're going to have to deal with negative people or relatives or something, and then you can try to think differently about it before you go. So you're prepared. You're prepared to have a good attitude in spite of whatever happens. Because usually when you're going to go to some stressful thing, you're always stressed out about it. And so you take that with you. And you want to be, and this segment thing enables you to switch that. So you have practice having positive thoughts before you see them.
And so it's sometimes called pre-paving. Like you lay down your road that you're going to travel ahead of time. You pave it ahead of time so you know where you're going. Okay.
So you're saying what you're saying apply what your previous sessions have been about. Focus on the positive outcome that you want.
Right.
And that if you're doing that, then you're going to be drawing positive outcome to you, right?
Exactly.
Exactly it. That's better said than what you said, Duncan. That's very good.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And so the next topic for today about manifestation built on that, and I've come up with a little process of some steps that I try to follow that kind of guarantee that. This little card exemplifies it. This is exactly what was in the chapter, a picture of this card. We'll go over and talk about each one. But these are like the steps that I go through.
Here, Yeah, that's good.
So the first one was intend. So very first, set your intention. What is it that I intend to happen out of this next little session or segment or whatever we're talking about?
Or
Um,
anything, new job, new relationship, yes?
anything, right? So for example, so I used this today
Mm.
because I'm working, my segment today was preparing the meal plan for our art retreat in Spain.
Okay.
My intention was to have the people who are there happy with the food and satisfied, and it all goes smoothly. And
Mm.
because there's like 21 meals, and so that was my intention. And so I envisioned the next step after intention is envision.
Mm.
So envision is picture it in your mind, what it's going to be like. There's the continental breakfast put out for people to come pick what they want. Then there's the salad or uh, light things, sandwiches or something for noon that we're going to have.
Uh-huh.
And there's the big spread of 18 people at the dinner for table, at a table for dinner. uh, with gorgeous meals. So that's the next step. Envision it, see it.
Mm.
Of course, by doing that, you're drawing all that energy so that it will be a great outcome. And the third step in the process is believe.
Be.
Believe.
Mhm, mhm.
Believe that it's possible. Not only possible, but it's going to happen. It's true. And I know that it's all going to work out. Well, the next step, I just said, I know that it's all going to work out. The next step is know. And know is different than believe,
Mm.
because when you really
Mm.
believe something, when you really know it and are sure of it, you don't say believe anymore. For example, if I would drop this pen on, prepare to drop this pen on the floor, I don't say I believe it'll hit the floor. Because I know it will hit the floor. I'm certain. The law of gravity is not going to take a vacation for me at this moment when I drop the pen. Well, the same thing is true with the law of attraction.
Mm.
I'm not going to take a vacation when I have my desire and intention going. So I know that it's going to still be working and work for me. So that's why know is the step above believe.
Mm.
And then the next one is emote. You having trouble seeing it, Eva?
Email. I thought we just did emote.
No, that was
Oh, believe it.
no, no,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, okay.
Can you hold it up again, please?
Yeah, please. I can't see the bottom one.
Okay, let me see if I can. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, I see. You were just doing believe and no, not emote. Now we're on emote. I got it.
I'm going like this.
I love that. I got it. The difference between, I love it. The difference between believing and knowing. I love that. Got it.
Right, that was the difference. And this one is emote.
Oh,
So,
I got that now.
so feel what it's going to be like to be there. Feel what the food's going to taste like, how good it's going to taste. how it's going to be some Spanish dishes that you've never had before.
Mhm.
And you'll maybe learn the name of, so you can have them again.
Mm.
So that's the emote part. And then the next part is expect.
Ah,
Expect.
vote expect. I got it. Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
expect. So expect is important because that means that you're already seeing it coming. You are expecting that it's going to happen, and we've got some. I've got some reinforcement on the fact that I can expect it will be coming,
Mm-hmm.
because in Mark 11 verse 33, Jesus says to his disciples, if you say to this mountain, pick yourself up and throw yourself into the sea, and you believe it, and do not doubt it, it will be done.
Mm.
So that's it. That's where the proof of this pudding comes from. And it goes, if it goes for a mountain, it'll go for the meals I'm planning or whatever else I want.
Hmm.
That's pretty powerful.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We're almost there. We've almost got it. The next one is trust. And you know what it takes to trust somebody or something. It takes, opening yourself to the possibility of it not working out.
Mm.
You love somebody, you're trusting that they won't hurt you, or so trusting that the promise that it will happen for you if you do these steps and put out the energy. That's part of it too.
Mm.
So that means you're not worried about, or you don't even think about the possibility that it can't happen,
Mm.
that it won't happen.
Okay.
So it's so much here that I better do the next part, which is to, I'm trying to see my
Prepare for.
prepare for it. So make the arrangements, know that it's coming. If
Buy
you
the ticket.
if you've ordered a mate,
Mhm.
buy the ring. Prepare for it. So that's
Good.
that's the next thing that happens, of course, is the manifestation appears.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
I always wondered like what you needed to do to make something manifest itself. And
Mm.
so where did you get that from? Different sources or one source or
I think that's your
the
own.
steps? The
It's
steps?
just,
that
it's
you-
just so-
That's
no,
it.
that's mine. I just put that together.
Yeah.
It's kind of my compilation of
Everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's great.
Yeah, me too.
And
Yeah.
and you know what it separates people wishing from something and actually working, taking steps, doing the work to get to the manifestation. It doesn't just happen. You have to do these things to make it happen.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it happens.
Spontaneously?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. If your desire is strong and, you
Mm.
know, durable over a period of time, then these things have been implicit in your thought or your way of working. If you don't do anything contradictory, like doubt it or say
Yeah.
it'll never happen, it can't happen to me, it only happens to other people. You don't do things to ruin it. The first step of intending something or desiring something, well, actually, there's a step before this, and the step before this is desire.
Mhm.
You want something. That's the first step, really. Desire. It's not on here.
Okay. Okay, but you're right. Yeah, it needs to start with the desire, right?
Starts with desire. These are the steps after desire.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, sometimes it happens spontaneously. If you have a really strong desire,
Mhm.
yeah, it seems spontaneous, but all of these things
Mm.
are happening, and
Happen.
the universe is preparing it for you and getting things ready to deliver when you're ready.
Mhm. To accept it. Mm.
Yeah. I mean, this is sort of like I use in my book the illustration that our life journey is sort of like a car journey with the GPS, and our
Mm.
desires are our destinations.
Mhm.
Well, you still have
What did
to
you say? What are the destinations?
our desires
Are the destinations?
are the destinations. Yeah.
Good.
So if you think of our life journey going that way, and our inner guide, our inner spirit as being our GPS coach,
Uh-huh.
uh, we get hints or instructions, intuitions about what to do to move us along the path to those desires. And if we don't, and if we, follow those, it eventually we get there and it manifests.
Mhm. Yeah.
But we still have to do a few things like get in the car and turn on the engine.
Duh.
Yeah.
That's about it, actually. That's probably about it. Because what I've always done is I read these instructions and then I get really unconsciously I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to figure it out. I have a list of things I have to do. Okay. And then this other discussion now is saying like, well, it's probably going to happen anyway, which is true because almost everything that we desire comes true because it has so much energy behind it. In spite of the fact we haven't hardly done any of these things, right? But I think it's kind of built in. I mean, that's what happens, but we don't have to consciously do it. That's my point, right? You don't have
Yes.
to consciously decide all these things. You
Mhm.
can't. It's too stressful. I mean, it's too hard.
So I was thinking exactly that, Eva, that sometimes when we think it appears spontaneously, it's because we've been doing these steps at an unconscious level. And we-
Exactly.
Yeah.
and that's because, as Duncan is saying, the desire is so strong,
That's right.
these things, just because out of this burning desire for it, and we're not even aware that we're doing them.
Exactly. And so therefore you are subconsciously imagining how wonderful it would be. So
Right.
you're envisioning. Um,
And you're thinking about what you could do to help make it happen to get what you
well,
want.
yeah, why not? And then
So we're
but then it's good to know about the things that we put up to block this natural flow. And one of them is the main thing we all worry about is self-worth and doubting and talking ourselves, down all the time. So as soon as you start talking that way, it blocks the flow.
right.
I mean, it's like the GPS thing. You get in, you're all fine. You start off on your journey, and all of a sudden,
Make a
you're
wrong turn.
lost. Well, the GPS doesn't, start cussing you out, tell you how stupid you are. It just waits for you to get back on track.
Yeah.
So that's been my biggest thing, is to learn about myself, to know myself enough to know how I am sabotaging the good that is coming to me. And then I would doubt myself I'd be almost there, and then I would doubt it.
Yes.
Do something. I take a detour, and then years later I come back to the
Yeah, and maybe part of that is just having this discussion is making us be aware that negative people in our life can come in and,
They don't help.
right, they
Right.
can block our path.
Yeah.
If we allow that negativity to absorb ourselves to absorb that. What do you think?
Yes, right.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
So isn't that why the trust, the self-trust is what all the philosophers say? Trust yourself. So that would be enough to keep this thing moving. If trust is one of them, if you're in a place where you can't trust anybody, they're just sabotaging you right and left, you have to trust yourself.
Yeah, that burning desire. That's like, what comes to mind for me is prisoners of war. They're surrounded by guards, but if they have a burning desire to escape, and they never, ever, 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 ever give up.
Mm-hmm,
They're the ones who live longer and maybe are
Mhm.
successful in their escape attempts. I mean, I read about World War II prisoners of war who escaped 14, 15, 20 times. They never gave up, even though they got punished when they got caught.
Yeah.
So we're using our imagination here to, Duncan, does this fit in with your premise?
Definitely. Using our imagination.
No, I mean, where we're taking this discussion
Oh, yeah, definitely.
down the
course.
road. Okay.
Yes. Well, that's what I intended to cover.
Good job, Duncan.
So Duncan, when you use GPS or is it Wi-Fi, sometimes you can't get reception because a cloud, people say there's a cloud over. Is that true? The cloud interfering?
I don't know about that.
Pretty efficient.
For like where? When
Any,
you're driving?
yeah.
Anywhere, if there's interference in your reception, is that because of something in the atmosphere, like a cloud or something that's interfering?
No, not clouds.
Never happened to us.
No, right. I doubt that that's true.
Okay,
So if you're traveling, if you're driving in Rancho Palos Verdes, for example,
yeah,
you have interference, or you don't have interference, your Wi-Fi drops out. If you're talking to somebody, they go silent for a while, or maybe the call totally drops. That's because there's no signal, there's no cell phone signal there in
oh,
Palos Verdes, because there's hills. So the signals pretty much go on a straight line. And so if you've got a hill without another antenna someplace, then you don't get a signal. That has been a problem in Palos Verdes. So I don't think it's any.
That doesn't apply to the GPS though.
Well, the GPS, no, it doesn't apply to the GPS, because
Okay,
the GPS is a signal from the satellites. So I could see how that might be interfered by a cloud, but I've never experienced that. Well, I have experienced sometimes when the GPS doesn't work when you start off. I haven't ever experienced it when it was
Going.
Sometimes it says it can't connect when I first go get in the car or something. It usually disappears quickly, but I've never had I have had the GPS manipulated by our intentions. We have, if we haven't told you this story, Virginia, you need to hear it.
Okay, go ahead, tell me.
I'm about to. We were driving on Interstate 15 from here to Utah, and goes through the wilderness with very little on either side. And there was some kind of an accident. And so the traffic was at a standstill for a long period of time. I mean,
Over an hour.
yeah, just, and there's no place to go for anybody. And so, you know, the people are walking their dog outside of the car, and but I've got to back up. Before we got on this, we stopped at a business Costco in, I don't even remember the name of it,
Vegas, Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Mhm.
And it was a business Costco, and I had only been in a business Costco once before. So I said, we stopped for gas. And after we filled up, I said, let's go inside. And so it was really different because it's designed for businesses. So they had the equipment to outfit a kitchen in a restaurant, for example. And they had cases of beverages. I mean, cases, whole pallets of drinks that you could purchase. They had was it a lamb, Eva? It was a
Ham.
side.
There wasn't that much food, but there was this ham.
Well, there was
ham.
yes, but there was something hanging in the freezer. Was it a lamb? I think it was a side of lamb.
Oh, that. Yeah. That they would cut up for you, maybe. Yeah. If you had a business, right.
Anyway, there was a case that had these cured hams in it. And for some reason, Eva just picked up that ham and clutched it in her arms and said, I've got to have this. And it didn't make sense, but we bought it.
Okay.
And we bought some, we must have bought some
Croissants and mustard.
we bought some croissants and mustard to also.
Yeah.
Now, this was an uncooked piece of meat?
No,
Or
no.
No, cooked.
Oh, okay,
Ready to eat. Ready to eat.
okay.
And sliced, I think, right? It was sliced too.
Yeah, probably. Mhm.
It was pre-sliced. It was a cured ham, pre-sliced, and wrapped, ready to eat. And then we got on Interstate 15, and we're stopped, and we don't know how long we're going to be there. There's nothing, as far as we can see, moving in either direction. So we decided to make some ham sandwiches.
Mhm.
So we put up the back of the car and got our food out and made some ham sandwiches and ate them there.
We're standing up, the hatch is open, we're standing up outside the car.
Yeah, making our sandwiches in the back. We eat these.
Uh-huh.
And you know, after a while, the traffic moves and so forth. So just the fact that we are eating these sandwiches there is the important part about this piece of the story. Well, also that she had to have the ham. That was unusual, and I said,
I don't think I
okay,
bought one since.
okay, but it didn't really make a lot of sense. But then we had something to eat.
Right.
We get back and we start moving, and I said I really would like to find a Starbucks. And so we put in Starbucks near me, and we come to this interchange on the highway that when it has fast food places and that kind of thing. And so the Starbucks leads me into off the freeway into this interchange and up to, and says you've arrived, and the you've arrived is at a McDonald's,
Not Starbucks, okay.
not Starbucks, at a McDonald's. And so Eva says, well, I got to go to the bathroom anyway, so let's just park here and I'll go in. So we park there, and I'm trying to figure out why there's apparently no Starbucks in this interchange at all. And I don't know what led us to McDonald's. But anyway, you take it from here, Eva.
Oh, all right. So anyway, the cool thing is that when I get in the bathroom, some lady says to me, "Aren't you the lady that we saw on the highway and the traffic?" I mean, we were there for 2 hours,
Oh.
and now it's taking us an hour to get from where we were stopped to this interchange. And she says, "We saw you making sandwiches in the back of your car." She says, "Yeah, I took a picture and sent it to my kids." She took a picture of us making our sandwiches. Well, and then we talked a long time. It was all about she was going somewhere for a baseball tournament or something. But the odds of someone like that, we thought that was over the top. It was just crazy. Yeah. So you call it serendipitous, or you call it miraculous manifestations, or whatever it is, but we like it.
It all started with the ham that we had no reason to buy.
Right. You wouldn't have had
Yeah.
the sandwiches without having bought that ham.
Right. So anyway, we got the
What
picture.
are the odds of that woman finding us there like that, though? Don't you think that's wild? Of all those, there must have been thousands of cars stuck in ahead of us and behind us. And then we spend an hour driving in slow traffic, and we finally decide to take this off ramp, and you get the wrong direction, and there she is. I remember.
Yes. The Starbucks directions to get us to McDonald's. That's the explainable part.
For the rendezvous. But the thing that's so exciting about those kind of stories, and we all have them, is that it makes you so much more that validates our perceptions of the miraculous occurring every day, because
Right.
it happens to everyone all the time.
Yes. Yeah. It's true. It helps us to appreciate, first to recognize, and second to appreciate them.
Yes, yes, yes.
So you must have some like that, Virginia.
Yes.
I was actually at a luncheon with a group of women. One woman I had never met before was introduced to me, and she was telling the other people at our table about how she had married and divorced, and she wanted to meet somebody else. She was yearning to meet somebody else. And she was driving to another state with another woman. And the other woman said, as they pulled out of gas and got onto the highway, "Oh my gosh, I should have used the bathroom there. I want to go to the bathroom." So this woman said, "Well, there's another one coming up on the highway, just a couple of miles up the road." So she pulled into the second one. There was a line of people outside the bathroom. So she said, the woman said, "Now I can go to the next one. How far away is the next one? I don't want to stand in line there." So she went to the next one, which was another 5-10 miles or so up the road.
Oh.
And the woman got out and went in, and it was filthy. And she came out and she said to the woman, "This is absolutely filthy." So they went now to another one. And the woman goes in and while she's in, the other woman is in the bathroom, this woman goes into the, the like little grocery section of the gas station and buys a cup of coffee and a donut. And as she's getting in line to pay for it,
Oh.
she sees a guy that was her high school sweetheart. And
Woo-hoo.
they recognize each other from a distance, so they
Ah.
get together and start talking. Her friend comes out of the ladies' room. They have to get back on the road. He takes her phone number, get back in the car and keep driving. And he calls her. P.S. They got married.
Ah, ha, ha.
It was almost as, as she's saying, it's like these things had to happen. We had to go to these, she said, it's really weird. We had to go to these different gas stations. The right one where he was. It kind of makes you think that there's some program there that was at work.
There is.
I love it. I love it. That's so good.
It works.
Yeah.
Go figure. Wow.
Yeah.
So that, I think this is why, Virginia, this is why we were encouraging you that day to expect it to happen.
Right.
Because stories like this make you believe in the possibility of such things, right?
Right.
That's how I am. And so I thought, that's why I love hearing the stories. I thought, yeah, that could happen to me. because it happens all the time.
Right. So I was wishing that this woman had been sitting in on this class because she would have connected the dots right away. And she kept she kept asking the people at the time, I mean, don't you think it seemed like I had to go through these steps to get to that the right gas station?
Like a scavenger hunt or something. Make it really hard.
I love that was a great.
Well,
Yeah.
part of it, see,
Funny.
the
So then so this is it. This is how you accumulate faith in what could happen, and then
Right.
faith in the possibility of things happening. And then pretty soon you just have a more of an expectant attitude, which is totally different than it'll never happen to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you are participating in the possibility, which you need to participate. If you're fighting against it all the time, it's working overtime, nothing's happening.
Mm.
well, so for a minute, pretend that you are the law of attraction manager. And you see that this woman wants to meet someone, and this man is the right kind of person, the right talent, and he's on his way to this station.
Mm.
But she's over there, and and um, if she, you got to get the timing right so that it had to go to those places, the timing to coincide with
To slow her down so that she didn't get there before.
right, the right time.
Well, they say God has a sense of humor. This proves it. Oh, it's too funny. Yeah. So that's why. I mean, I'm just expecting something good to happen. I am. And because I never know where it's coming from.
Mhm. Have you done this your whole life, Eva?
On and off. Mostly by accident.
Okay, by accident.
Yeah, but I believed in supernatural things. I believed in all that. Yeah.
Oh, uh-huh.
But then I went through my, 20 years of doubt. So I know about that too.
So in that 20 years,
Nothing good was happening to me, those 20 years of doubt.
pardon? What?
Nothing good was happening to me when I
Oh,
stopped and started into a period of doubt and cynicism and hurt feelings and God knows what.
mhm.
Nothing,
now-
nothing good
now-
happened. Just got worse.
And
I'd
now,
say I'd say I figured it out in the last 20 years, since I've been in California.
Mhm, mhm.
I mean, I think it's worked for me all my life, but I
Yeah,
didn't
sure. Mhm.
really know how it was working or what was working.
Okay, so you were doing it on an unconscious level. Is that what you're saying? And
Yeah.
Well, whatever good things were coming to me, I think I was doing on an unconscious level. Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, um, I've a lot of students have said to me that, you know, I really affected them. So I must have been having the energy and radiating it or something.
Mhm.
But uh, I I couldn't have told I couldn't have had this class because I had no idea about it
Mhm.
that we just did.
But that's an interesting thought that in your darkest times that that your guide was with you all that time. Of course.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
the miracles where you didn't fall off the cliff. You know what I mean? You were being helped in other ways, not because you weren't in that you weren't in that vibrational level to accept all these good things yet. But he knew you were getting ready for it.
So when you listen to your intuition, that's your spiritual coach, GPS guide. And so I I got ideas, inspiration that I followed
Mhm.
without knowing the bigger plan.